Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Cascadia Hockey. Brought to you by Barry Puck Threads. My name is Corey Gaston, your host with the least, and I'm here joined, as always, by founder of Barry Puck Threads, leader of men, leader of, well...
men, boys.
Lots of children.
Yes.
Lots of children.
Yeah.
And a follower of an awesome wife.
Yes, yes.
Misanthrope, one Mr. Aaron Piper.
Good morning. I'm excited to be here, everybody.
Across from me in goal, riding the Zamboni, streaming on the Twitch services, or perhaps just going to get a coffee. One Mr. Kyle Houts.
Can't prove where I got this, all right?
The lid is pink. That's all I'm going to say.
It's a dingy little place in Pasco. I don't have to say anything.
You don't have to, but I'm going to bring it up a lot because I can.
And we have a fourth person on today.
We have a guest with us. One Mr. Parker AuCoin.
How we doing, fellas? Thanks for having me on. I'm really looking forward to it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Great to have you, man.
This is like our second guest ever, I think.
Yeah, our first guest.
That was like a year ago.
A long time. We actually, I don't know if you're familiar with him, Parker, but Russ Rankin, one of the scouts for the team.
Oh yeah, the scout, the punk guy, the punk rock.
Yeah.
Exactly. When I found out, when I started working for the team a few years ago, I was looking at the scouting list and I said, Russ Rankin, I know that name. And I'm like, oh yeah, I grew up on Good Riddance, man. And now he's a scout. That's awesome. So,
yeah.
So how's it been going, man? You said it's a little cool up there right now?
Yeah, it's not as nice. I'm not as spoiled as you guys are down there with the nice weather. Just kind of getting back into the swing of things with the training and everything. Took a couple weeks off to kind of reboot after the season. It always gets kind of long when we get into playoffs, playing into April and stuff. But
sure.
Now took a couple weeks off, and I'm just kind of getting ready to get back at it here.
How'd the time on Orlando go?
It was all right. It's just kind of whirlwind. It kind of happened really fast.
Sure.
Obviously, like dream come true. Playing in my first couple professional games. That's obviously something that I've dreamed of ever since I was a little kid playing hockey. So that was really cool. Definitely like a great experience, kind of seeing what the pro game is like, and see how the guys act up there, and just kind of how different the game is, going from junior to pro. So definitely like an experience that I'll take with me forever for sure.
That's awesome. Yeah, I grew up. That's actually how I got into hockey, was ECHL, the Norfolk Admirals. That was a team that got me started. So that's really cool, man. So you were there for a little bit. Where do you? Like I said, we don't really want to interview. We want to have a conversation with you and get you in on everything we talk about. But what does the future look like for you, man? What are you up to?
So right now, just kind of holding out for a little bit. I've been doing a couple school visits and stuff like that. Kind of going to wait till after the NHL draft and kind of see what kind of professional opportunities kind of come from that. Like I said before, like how to put myself kind of in a really good spot after this year, having a lot of options. So I think after 4 years in the Western League, I think I kind of owe it to myself to not leave any stones unturned and just kind of make sure, that the decision that I make is going to be the best one for me, because it's, obviously the biggest decision I've made in my life, up to this point. So.
Yeah, for sure. And let's talk about the position you put yourself in this year, dude. I mean, you fucking killed it.
Yeah, this last season was bonkers.
Yeah, I mean, I was really lucky. I think as much as I loved Mike Williamson and everything that he did for me, I think it was good for me to kind of have a fresh start as a 20-year-old with a new coach and everything. Yeah, and just Remmer and myself, we were there the longest. We were kind of the leaders and stuff, and I think we really embraced that role, and just kind of made it fun to come to the rink. That's the biggest part about junior hockey, man, is when you fucking hate to come to the rink, like it's the worst. When you're dreading it, and you're you don't want to get out of bed, like that. That's what makes your time not great, So, we wanted to create that environment where it was fun to come to the rink, and, we enjoyed ourselves, and Kelly, I can't say enough about that guy, man. Like he's the best, and he made it so much fun to come. And I think that's kind of I can credit some of the success to just enjoying hockey and having so much fun. And that's really what it's all about, man. Is points and all that shit aside, like it's really all about having fun. And we are still young kids playing hockey, dreaming. So that's kind of where I'm at on that, I guess.
That's awesome, man. And it definitely showed, when Kelly came in, a lot of the word that I was hearing all the time was intense when people talked about Buckberger. And then we also brought up, Corey's over there laughing. I don't know if you're a Letterkenny fan or not, but Kelly Buckberger's name was dropped once in Letterkenny. So
yeah, we got it's funny because Austin Playfair used to play on the AMs,
right?
That's his brother.
Yeah,
Dylan. Yeah,
I bugged him about it one time. I was like, "Hey, man, what do I got to do to get your brother's show down here?" And he's like, "Dude, I can't even get it." So he was like, "I have a USB stick somewhere," and I was like, "Shit, dude." But now it's out on Hulu, so it's all good. So
Hulu or whatever, Crave TV or whatever the hell they got going on there.
Yeah, but so I heard the word intense quite a bit, and then I think it was during the preseason tournament. I was down doing some video there in the suicide box, and when Kelly came out, man, just the energy he had, and just going up to every one of you guys and being encouraging, and I was just like, this guy knows what he's doing here.
Oh, for sure. And you can tell that, that he's an NHL coach, and, he played with fucking Wayne Gretzky and Lemieux and all those guys, man. Like, you can tell, like, and he's so passionate about the game. He lives and breathes hockey, man. And it really shows, like, and he's just, like, above all the hockey things, like, he's just, like, an amazing person. Like, is so, like, welcoming and approachable. And he, like, when we're out, on the road and in hotels and in restaurants, he's, talking to every single person that he can. And, he makes everyone feel comfortable, especially the young guys, man. And that's so important not only in the Western League, but like especially in the U.S. division, because virtually every single player is in a different country.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Every single player is, out of their comfort zone, especially those young guys. So to be able to, like I said, enjoy coming to the rink and have fun, and if you're struggling, you have someone, to lean on and have someone to talk to. Like I honestly can't even stress like how important that is. Like, especially as a young kid when you're going through school, all those like transitions in your life, to kind of have that backbone of someone that you can rely on is like astronomically huge for those young kids, for sure.
Yeah. Like, I think that's something that people tend to forget or just don't really realize right off the bat, is that, a lot of you guys are still pretty young, and there's a lot of pressure on you guys at that age. Like, when I joined the Army when I was 21, and a lot of people that were joining were like 17, 18 years old, and that's a lot for someone to, at that age, to be traveling as much as they do and be away from home for the first time ever. Like, a lot of you guys, that are on this team are like 15, 16 and up, and it's a big deal for a lot of these guys. So I think hearing that, like, from about Buckberger is really reassuring, because that's a scary time for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Like I was 21 and traveling the world, and it was still pretty intense and intimidating. So that's wonderful to hear that, like, he definitely makes it easier for you guys and makes it so that you feel comfortable being on the road with a bunch of other guys your age under the same conditions. So that's awesome.
Speaking of that, this year, you talked about you've had two coaches. You had Mike and you had Kelly. Honestly, us as fans, with everybody that left after last season, with Razzie and Valimaki and all those guys moving on, there was a lot of question marks. Just natural stuff. And as the season unfolded this year, we knew that there was something special going on here. I mean, obviously things didn't end the way that you guys wanted it to this year, but the team was always in it. Do you attribute that to Kelly's system? Do you attribute that to a tight-knit group of guys? What happened with that?
Absolutely. I think Kelly has like a big part of it. I think, anyone who watched any Americans game this year we would have been absolutely nowhere without Beck Warm.
Oh God, yeah.
He stood on his head for us every single game all year. I couldn't say enough about this guy either, man. Like, he's so professional, does the little things. He acts, he's great in the community. He does all those other sort of things, but he, he's just, you can tell, how passionate he is about the game, and, how bad he wants to succeed. So definitely that's a big part of it too. But like I said before, just like Kelly and, talking to the leadership group and stuff and creating that environment where, like I said before, we were enjoying to come to the rink and it was fun, and, it didn't feel like a chore. You get into December, January, February when you're on off weeks and you're practicing every day, and it's like, oh man, it's just like kind of gets old at some point. But, we would always try and, make sure we spice it up and make it fun and make it enjoyable. And, that's really what it's all about, like I said before. So definitely kind of make it, got to give Kelly a lot of credit for, what he does with like a younger team. And, we didn't really have we didn't have the Raz or the Geeks or the Valimaki, the Bean, the Coughlin. We didn't have a guy. We were just kind of like a really tight knit group who, got along really well. And, that's kind of what led to our success, I think.
So I'm gonna disagree with you on one point though, because I feel like the team did have a guy this year, and I this is not to blow smoke up your ass. I really feel like you went to a completely different level this year. I'm specifically thinking of New Year's Eve versus Spokane, and what was it, 2 or 3 shorthanded goals? I mean, fuck, dude.
Yeah.
Every time the puck touched your stick in that game, it was in the back of the fucking net, dude. I mean, what did you change, or were you just getting more opportunity this year?
Yeah, I think definitely more opportunity. Playing first power play and penalty kill, and being playing in the top 6 was something like new to me. I didn't really, like I said, with all those big names that we had, I never got that opportunity. Which is fine because we won hockey games, and in the end, that's all that really matters is winning. And but yeah, so it's nice to get that opportunity and everything, and just the confidence and knowing that your teammates and your coaching staff and just the team staff, Bob and everyone, just like having confidence in you and that they believe in you and they think that you can produce. And I think that's definitely it's all half of it's mental, so that's definitely a big part of it too.
For sure.
Yeah.
The other thing too, I wanted to give you props, and I'm sure you've heard it, but with how you, at the end of the game specifically, I mean, tossing pucks into the crowd for the kids and all that stuff. Do you feel like it was something that when you came into the league, you learned to be, that interactive with fans and with the community and stuff, or was that just something that's been instilled in you for a long time?
I mean, I think I was, I'm a super social guy, like talking to everyone. But I think, the one thing for me that sticks out in my head is the one thing that I, points, goals, hockey aside, like hockey is my life, but hockey isn't life.
Sure.
There's more to life than playing hockey. And obviously, it's my passion and it's what I love to do, but there's nothing, more important in this world to me, especially than being a good person. I think you can be a good hockey player and you can be good at whatever, but if you're not a good person and you're not, nice to people, then, there's not much else that you have. I think that's really, like I said, the most important thing in the world to me is just being a good person and, being approachable and social and, feeling comfortable around other people for sure.
That's awesome. No, you took it by the reins this year. Speaking of not great people, Brad Marchand last night, you guys see his interview after the game?
Holy crap.
Yeah. God.
Oh, let me ask you this. This is something we talk about a lot, and I know that probably at the Western level you don't get this a whole lot. What's your take on pregame interviews and postgame interviews?
I mean,
got to get pucks deep, got to get pucks to the net, sort of thing.
Yeah, something like that.
Get our legs up under us.
I mean, I think in the playoffs it's definitely different than in the regular season.
Sure.
Because the intensity is just jacked up. That's extra. But I mean, it's all for the TV too, right? Like they don't really have a choice. They're under contract. That's kind of something that they have to do. Yeah, I guess that's kind of I mean, I don't think it's a big deal. It's literally 10, 15, 20 seconds of your time. I don't think it's that big of a deal.
Sure.
But I mean, Marchand is Marchand also. That guy's a wild card, so whoever knows what the hell go on with him.
I got other words for him other than wild card.
Oh, Kyle has such a love-hate relationship with
no,
Marchand.
it's all hate.
It's
the
all
thing
hate,
with
okay.
the pre and post game interview to me is there's always like 6 to 10 canned answers that you just
for
say
6 to 10 canned
questions. Yeah.
No, I watched
We
that.
just got outskated, man. That's we tried our best.
Yeah, get out there next game. No, the one with Marchand though, like in his defense, like he definitely didn't look like he wanted to talk to that guy because I hear that interviewer's got kind of a bad reputation. But at the same time, it's Brad Marchand, and that nothing really helps his case.
That's
Speaking, let me ask you this. I want to, and anything that we talk about here, if you don't feel comfortable, just completely say I'm not comfortable. But like, who was the Brad Marchand of the Western League while you were around?
You don't have to name any names if you don't want to. Like, you could be like this guy over on Kamloops or some shit.
I think Jesse Gabriel is a name that sticks out for me. He's in the Boston organization, I think now. He was on PG for a couple years, and he was a yapper, man. He was man in your face, blah blah blah. You're this, you're that, blah blah blah. Just kind of all the time. But he was a good player, so he kind of backed his shit there.
I think that it changes a lot of things too for like guys who talk a lot of shit. Like, I mean, obviously you got guys that just run their mouths, and then you got guys that can actually like either bury the puck or bury your face in the ice. So like I kind of think of Reeves in that sense, where
Ryan Reeves.
Yeah, like he's a fair player, but like he'll beat your ass. Like he'll talk and then he'll beat your ass.
Yeah,
I mean he's mean. So
yeah, for sure. I think the one thing about hockey players, though, I'm not sure if you guys saw that thing on Twitter, on social media of McAvoy and Anderson, just kind of agree. I'm not sure if you saw.
I did. The post game handshake.
I think the great thing about hockey players, though, honestly, is we all know that we're out there to do a certain job, and we all kind of have a role on the team. But I think, like I said, the great thing is that we all kind of have that mutual respect where, we can, go to battle on the ice and give each other shit and whatever. But, when it comes down to, off the ice and stuff like that, I think we're all like good people, and we understand, that we all have jobs. And, it's a business for sure. So I think that's, like I said.
Do you think that's an intrinsically Canadian
in other sports,
attitude?
you're not so lucky.
Ask that again.
I said, do you think that's just an intrinsically Canadian attitude? Like, just a way of looking at the world is like, we'll get into it, but at the end, it's just, we're done. It's over. Less grudge carrying.
Yeah, like, I mean, I think a lot, and, like what you said, Parker, is the thing is, on the ice, off the ice attitudes vary. Like, you could be a hard ass on the ice, but once you're off, you're like all smiles and hugs and stuff. I mean, and I think that's great. Like, I think a lot of people, failed to see that in some sense because, like, the whole McAvoy hit last night, like, Twitter blew up. Like, everybody was going nuts over it. But at the end, like, things kind of changed a little bit when they saw that they were kind of chatting a bit during the handshake line. So that gives you a good idea of, like, the amount of respect people actually do have for each other despite, like, what's going on. I don't think McAvoy really meant to target the head.
That doesn't seem to be his style.
No, not at all.
Oh, definitely.
I think he'll still probably see something out of it from the NHL.
He will.
Yeah. So, but you have to make that call. You have to do that. Like, that's just how it is. Because, like, you gotta, I mean, Parker, more than anyone, like, or anyone here talking. Like, you gotta like make sure you watch your stick. You gotta make sure you watch your hits. Like, you gotta keep that tight. And sometimes it just happens, I guess.
Yeah.
So,
it's funny. I don't know what made me think about this, but we're talking about like Marchand's and talking about people that are completely different on the ice than off the ice. Parker, I know, hanging out a couple years with Max James, that dude was such a fucking beast. I mean, if I was on the opposing team, I'd be scared to death of him. But yet when he was off the ice, dude, he was just like the chillest, nicest kid.
He's so cool. Opinion. Like, I like him. I think he's a good dude.
Yeah, he's that you kind of hit the hammer on the head there, but he definitely is so fucking nice, man. Like, you see he's virtually a fucking linebacker on skates.
Sure.
Coming at you, and he kind of flips that switch, whether he'll rip your head off or, he's really nice.
Yeah.
So he kind of, like I said before, just a couple of minutes ago, like, we all have a job to do, and that was kind of his role, is to be that big, tough guy. And God, did he crush guys, man.
Oh my goodness.
I played with him for a lot of my career, and man, I'm so happy that he was on my team and not again, because he fucking destroyed. Oh my God.
Yeah, he was.
But yeah, he's like the nicest, like, most genuine, like respectful, like, guy off the ice. Like, you would never know if by just meeting him that he was a complete asshole on the ice.
He the thing about Jamesy that always was funny to me was his choice of music. I used to love it when Mike would let him choose the playlist for practice, and I'm like, wow, where did that come from?
Yeah. Yeah, he was big into the music for sure. He loved that stuff. Some guys love to control, the playlists and everything, but he was definitely one of those guys for sure.
That's awesome. So we talked earlier that we do a chirp of the week, and this is usually where I'll enter in some soundbite. And you'll hear it when we post the episode. But remember, pretty much tells Dawson, but it's Dollar Dog night. Why don't you go upstairs and get a hot dog, you fat fuck?
Hey, Nolan! Hey, it's Dollar Dogs up there. Go get a hot dog. You're a fat fuck.
So I thought that was a good one. So with that.
Remmer's full of them, man. Remmer is full of them.
God, it's so good.
He's great. And he's another one, too. I mean, on the ice, he'll get under your skin all day long. I remember hearing a linesman tell him once, and you wonder why we follow you around all the time. But, like, off the ice, I mean, the guy's the epitome of class.
Yes, he really is, man. And, like, yeah, it goes back. I mean, it's just kind of writing itself here is, we all, we're all different. We're all, like, human beings. And, teenage part. So, yeah, he's a really good dude. And, we've been through thick and thin together, me and Remmer, so I could talk about that guy all day long. But you guys know how good of a guy he is, and how amazing of a player, and all the success that he's had in his career so far. So I mean, we don't really have to get into that.
Sure. No. But anyway, so a chirp of the week, Kyle. You said you had one, or you didn't have one?
No, I didn't have one. I need to come up with one because I was talking shit in my Discord. And I told the guy, I was like, dude, I'm going to chirp you in my episode tomorrow. And I still haven't come up with anything. Like, I don't know. I don't know what to say to him. Because, like, he's a Caps fan. And every time I say anything, he just goes back to the cup win. And I was just like, fuck, dude, that's all you got. But, I mean, what do I got against it right now? And I was pulling out, like, numbers last night. I was like, Fleury's got more cups than Holtby. And, he was just like, yeah, but not with the Knights. I'm like, man, fuck you. Like, he's got me everywhere. Like, I got to come up with something.
Can we talk about this weird, like, back and forth that's going on between Carolina and Don Cherry?
Jesus. What do you think of that, Parker?
I'm a big Don Cherry fan. So,
boy.
I'm a Canadian. I'm a big fan of Don Cherry.
Yeah.
He's a great ambassador, and he's you talk to anyone who knows what hockey is, they know who Don Cherry is. He's a legend for sure. I mean, you can't really shit to Carolina after they've done. They've backed their shit up. They've had an unbelievable run. I can't think of anyone that thought they'd be in the Eastern Conference Finals. That's for damn sure.
Oh, I know. It's unreal.
I think it's great. I mean, Kyle and I both spent some time. I lived in Virginia Beach, which was like 2.5, 3 hours from Raleigh, and Kyle was out there for a while too. So it's really cool to see that. And no, nobody expected them to be in the Eastern Conference Finals right now. Boston doesn't surprise me, but Carolina was like, what the fuck? But I think it's great, dude. The parity in the league this year is incredible.
Yeah, it's awesome. Well, I mean, you shared Don Cherry's feelings on the Carolina surge, or are you okay with it? You like it?
I mean, I'm okay with it. I mean, I think it's cool. I think it's we get caught up in this whole this business of hockey and being all serious and everything. I think it's cool to have just like show emotion and be happy. And it's cool they have that young coach. He was a player not that long ago.
Yeah.
I think, that's huge for him. They all buy and they're excited to play for him. And I think, that's what's led to a lot of their success is just, kind of being the outsiders and being the underdogs and kind of that why not us attitude. I think that's what's leading them to a lot of their success for sure.
I absolutely agree, 100%.
So we derailed from the chirp because Kyle didn't bring one to the table. Damn you, Kyle! You had one.
I was
job.
trying to
You know
save
what?
you a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. No, let's. So let me ask you: in your time in hockey, and it can be in the Western League, it can be bantam, it could be Pee Wee for all I care. But I want to hear. And to me, correct me if I'm wrong, to me, you seemed like somebody that didn't talk a whole lot on the ice. You just went out there and pounded guys and put the puck in the back of the net. So if you have a great chirp that you feel like you've given, share it with us. But if not, I want to know what you think is the best chirp you've ever heard on the ice.
Yeah, I think, you guys have watched, I guess. I'm not much of a talker. I'll say I'm more of a say hi, how's it going to the other guys than a chirping guy. I think the best chirp that I've heard, I don't remember exactly when it was. I think I've heard it a few times. Is when the guys get out, like the younger guys, the fourth liners or whatever, and they get out against the first line guys, and it's when does your Make-A-Wish experience expire?
Oh, that's a good one.
God. Oh, that's vicious. Like I can't come up with shit like
horrible.
that.
It's horrible.
Yeah, I can't.
Fucking horrible.
I gotta come up with shit like that. Like the shit that like Biz comes up with. God, it's second nature to him. God, he's the king of that shit.
Oh yeah, he's the best, man.
Yeah.
And he doesn't even have to think about it. I mean, it's so natural to him, and he just accepts that, he was that fourth line player while he was in the league, and he's just rolling with it, dude. It's so fun.
Yeah. No. Yeah. He's fun to listen to for sure, man. Those guys are hilarious.
Yeah, they definitely are. We talk a lot on here about Sean Avery.
I was just about to bring him up too. I was like, there's Biz who has like these well crafted like chirps, just ready to not even ready to go. I'm sure he just does it on the fly,
Yeah.
But then there's like Sean Avery who just yells at people in traffic. He's like, "Hey, fuck you! You're in the bike lane." Like that's all he does. It's wonderful. Like, have you been following any of that, Parker? Like, if you go on Instagram, Sean Avery posts just yelling at people in New York City on his stories. It's so funny.
Yeah, I've seen it for sure. I'm not sure if you guys. This is a couple months ago. Listen to the Spittin' Chicklets with Sean Avery on there. He's been on there a couple times. Man, that guy is a fucking lunatic.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Like he's got a few. He has a few screws loose, man. Like, I mean, he's funny and he was fun to watch and shit. But some of the shit that comes out of that guy's fucking mouth. My God, like there's fucking. I'm pretty sure, man. Like I don't know. Like he's got a couple screws loose for sure,
dude. Yeah, like I mean,
but I mean,
look
we're
at the
talking
guy.
about we're talking about definitely doing something right. That's his job.
Yeah, like he was definitely an agitator for sure. Like I hated him when he was playing. Like
Yeah.
I hated him because I'm a goalie and I side with goalies most of the time. And when he was doing that shit to Brodeur, I was like, oh fuck this guy, fuck everything this guy stands for. Now that he's out, I'm just like, all right, whatever. He's kind of entertaining.
Who you got with the first round in the brackets? I mean, everybody's brackets were busted that first round. Who's your favorite right now?
Yeah, right. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I hate to say it because I'm not a big Boston fan, other than Carlo. But I think Boston will take it. I think they're too deep. They're too good to lose. That's kind of my thoughts. I hope San Jose, to be honest.
Yeah,
because it'd be nice to see them win. I'd like to see Jumbo win one.
They definitely deserve it. As salty as I am about that, they definitely deserve it.
So I'd like to see that, but I hate to say Boston most.
Yeah,
we had a hot take right before the playoffs started. Oli Kolzig was in the store here. His son actually works with Corey, and Corey asked him. He said, who's your pick? And Oli said St. Louis and the Capitals, which we all know the way the Capitals have gone. But I thought the St. Louis thing was an interesting take. What do you think from them right now?
I mean, it's hard not to be a fan of them right now. You gotta give Craig Berube credit, man. Like, I can't believe you look back at Christmas time or whenever that was when they were in last place. You're thinking they might be getting first overall, and now they're one game away from the Western Conference final.
It's
so
insane.
I mean, it's fun to watch. It's insane. That Binnington guy is off the charts.
God, it's unreal.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's just fun to watch, man. It's as much as I wish, my Flames and, all the big dogs were still in. It's cool to see these underdogs and, see, that it takes like a whole team, to win games and not just a superstar here and a superstar there. So, I think that's definitely the story of these playoffs for sure.
Yeah, we were talking about that over the last couple of weeks, just how much the difference between 1 and 8 anymore is very minuscule. And I think it's all about timing. It's all about when somebody gets hot. I know, not this past season, but the season before, even with the Ams, there were some struggles in the middle of the season, but man, you guys turned it on when you had to, and you went on that incredible run last year. And it just proves that the team aspect of it is so much more important.
Yeah, I think, and getting hot at the right time too. I think that's a big thing. I guess Tampa. You look at Tampa Bay. You look at Calgary. They were unbelievable all season, and you get to the playoffs, and it's a new dance, right?
It's
everything
insane.
kind of resets, and it doesn't really matter. What you did in the 82 games before. It's kind of what you do now, and so that's the fun part about playoffs, man. And I guess you kind of look at the comparison, between the NHL and the NBA. NBA is 1, 2, 3. In the second round, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and both conferences.
Yeah.
So I mean, it kind of just shows the difference, and those guys have all the superstars, and they can kind of carry you, in basketball. But hockey is definitely a different animal for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Something I had thought about earlier that I was going to talk to you about, and this is going to kind of change courses a little bit. But last summer, I know you did a lot of work with Humboldt, with doing some charity work and stuff to raise some money and everything with that. I feel like that story kind of got glossed over a little bit. We didn't talk about it here a whole lot in the States, you specifically being involved, but Humboldt really, really shook us up, just as hockey fans and the tragedy that was. And I know, if I remember right, you actually had some friends that were on that team, correct?
Yeah, I had 4 buddies on that team who passed away. They're all from St. Albert here. So yeah, definitely our community was shattered. The hockey community as a whole, man, I remember, it's just like, such a horrible tragedy. And, the hockey world, is so special, and, we can all come together in times like that, which is, I think, all of us can say that we're grateful to be a part of it, and, see how we're all, a family. And, that's a big thing for me too, is, just we're all the same, and, we all share that passion for hockey and that love. And, I think that show definitely, especially around here. Cause obviously, like I said, the community was shattered. I also knew a couple other guys who are alive and, and got hurt and stuff. So I think it's just, the hockey community is like, such a small world. And, I know for me, and I think, every hockey player, we play for those guys, and we play for those boys who, lost their lives, chasing their dreams. And, we're chasing our dreams, in honor of those boys, especially, for sure. So I think it's definitely, those guys will be near and dear to my heart, for the rest of my life. And, it's something that we'll never forget. And, I guess never take a day for granted, I guess, is kind of, how I came away with it, I guess.
Yeah. Are you, is there anything else? I mean, is that work continuing for you up there? Is there still stuff going on this summer specifically for Humboldt, or?
Yeah. So it's funny that you ask, actually. So just this week we booked the ice and, got everything kind of figured out for our second annual memorial tournament here in St. Albert.
Awesome.
So last year we're doing it differently this year. Last year we we did the whole 9 yards. We did a silent auction, and we had donations and everything, and we raised over $50,000 for. So they had the Humboldt Strong Foundation or whatever that went to kind of rebuilding the city, and all the people with the GoFundMe and all that stuff, and then the mayor of St. Albert established this fund here called the St. Albert Humboldt Remembrance Committee Fund, I guess. So they're kind of committed to doing a long-term scholarship fund, for those 4 boys and in the names of those kids. So we're doing that again this year. We're not going to do the silent auction. I think we're just going to play hockey and have fun and kind of remember those boys, and just kind of try and raise them. We're not so much worried about the money. I think that's a big thing, but just kind of getting everyone together and shooting the shit and sharing stories and the memories and stuff like that is a big part of the healing process for sure, because it's been over a year, but that's definitely still a really touchy subject for everyone. I think kind of everyone's, I guess, not in denial, but I mean it's just kind of hard to think about and hard to believe. So that'll be a big step in the healing process for sure.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I think what hit me the most was just thinking about that. I got a chance to ride the bus with you guys once up to a Spokane game, and I know for me personally, and you guys obviously you live on the bus in junior hockey, but for me personally, it's you step on there and you can't even fathom something like that happening. And it shook me. I remember I was watching, you guys were playing in Victoria that night. The Ams were.
Yeah, in Victoria game 2, yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, there was so much excitement around the team. You didn't lose a game in the first round. You hadn't lost a game in the second round. And all of a sudden, these stories started breaking. And I mean, I know my first thought was, dear God, I hope this isn't bad. And then all of a sudden you hear it and you're just like, holy shit, that's the worst it could have been.
Yeah.
And it just blows you away. And I know I wanted to bring it up with you because I know it was near and dear to your heart. If I remember right, Patrick Day was pretty close to some of those guys as well, right?
Yeah, because Patty's from St. Albert here.
Okay.
Him and I played with one of the guys. Patrick and I played together in midget, and we played with one of the guys who passed, and he was really good buddies with one of the guys who passed away here too. So, I mean, St. Albert is definitely a hockey town, hockey community, and everyone kind of knows everyone. So that was definitely a heartbreaker for sure. I think, like I said, in this community, man, having 4 kids from the same place, happen to, play on the same team, and, that happens. So I think, but everyone's kind of done a really good job around here of not dwelling on it. Obviously it's one of the most horrible tragedies, that's ever happened. But I think just kind of, being happy that we got to spend the time with those boys, and, they were obviously taken away too soon, but just, being grateful for the time and, remembering them, the way that they deserve to be remembered for sure.
Absolutely. With the foundation and stuff that you're working with, is there any way that people that are listening or us here, is there any way we can get involved with that? Or is it more just a community thing up there? Is there a website or anything we can send people to?
Yeah, I think in the next little bit, we'll kind of get more into that.
Okay.
Like I said, last year we wanted to raise as much money, as possible to get this scholarship and all this stuff going. But like I said, I think we're not, really as much worried about, the money and stuff like that. It's just more the time. And, it's great because I think I still have, people coming up to me and my buddies, that we put it on saying, are we doing it again? That was the best weekend, so I think we're more, focused on that. And I think obviously we're super grateful for everyone, that's helped us out and as, noticed on social media and stuff like that. But like I said, we're really just trying to remember those boys, the way that they deserve to be remembered. And there's no better way to do that than, playing the game that we all love and, that they loved for sure.
Sure.
I especially like seeing people still doing the sticks on the porch and stuff. I think it's really cool. If you can't help out other ways, then that's a good way of kind of thinking about them and remembering them every year. So, I definitely wanted to, but I live in a kind of a sketchy part of town, and if you leave your doormat out for 5 seconds, it's gone. So So yeah, I just kind of like put it by my door on the inside of my apartment. So
Good old Pasco. Did you ever venture over there while you were in town here?
Oh yeah, lots of times. But you know, I lived in Kennewick, so that was kind of my stomping grounds.
okay,
Yeah.
I ran into a couple of them in Pasco.
It seems like the billet families were spread out a lot because we're in Richland, but you had people all over the place around here.
Yeah, no, everyone's kind of scattered all over the place. I was super lucky in being super close to the rink, and I was with the same billets for my entire 4 years. So that was definitely a difficult goodbye a couple weeks ago. But I think I guess to kind of touch on that, like I think they kind of billets and stuff to just like the average fan kind of like go unnoticed. That's like such a vital part of junior hockey, and I would be nowhere, and like any junior player ever would be nowhere like without billets, and they are just like the greatest like people in the world, opening their homes to random Canadian kids chasing their dreams and trying to play hockey. So I think we gotta definitely give a shout out to all the billets out there for everything that they do, and because I think they definitely go unnoticed, and they deserve a hell of a lot more credit than the players do, for sure.
No, that's a really good point. I hear these stories and they kind of get glossed over a lot, but you'll hear people at the draft, at the NHL draft, they bring the billet families with them and give so much credit to their success and all that stuff, and I think that's awesome. Yeah,
no, it's like I said, a vital part of the community and of our lives, and I would treat my billet family just like I would treat my own family, and they are family to me now after being there for so long, and I wouldn't obviously be anywhere without them. So
nice. Shout out to Corner's billet family.
Yeah.
So I wanted to. We got a little bit of time left here, I think. I want to take a lighter note on the bus. This is something I know. The one time that I rode with you guys, it was an up and back to Spokane, and it wasn't what I expected, to be honest. It was pretty not lively on the bus, I think because it was an up and back, and it was just, came right back to the Tri-Cities after the game. The only thing that sticks out in my head is Valimaki laughing the whole time in the back, and he had one of the most annoying laughs, in my opinion. But I would be sitting, because I was up in the front of the bus, and all I heard for the whole ride home was, ha. Do you remember that? You know what I'm talking about? That Valimaki laugh?
Oh yeah, I've heard that one a few times for sure. But it definitely, I guess, depends on the trip. Like you said, if we win or we lose, you get it, especially on the way up there. You get guys napping, so it's pretty quiet on there. But
yeah,
if we win, it definitely a little louder in the back and stuff like that. But you're also near the front, and all those younger guys are church mice up there. So.
That was a fun experience. We this year at the Chuck E. Cheese event that I came and hung out with you guys, we gave Connor Bouchard a new nickname. I think it was actually Blake Stevenson and I. We called him a Stinky Kid Ass. And that was actually Blake's suggestion because he said that is Connor, that he smells like Stinky Kid Ass. Can you confirm or deny that?
I'm not sure if Bouch will be listening. He might be mad, but I might be able to confirm that. I'm not sure.
Oh man, Bouch is another one too, dude. He's really embraced just being a fan favorite.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Yeah, that kid is, man. He's special for sure. I'm not sure. I don't. You guys have been around him a little bit, but it's almost like he's too nice that you think he's being fake. But he's like such a genuine, amazing person, and like has the biggest heart. But it's like, why are you being so nice? Like it almost like seems fake. It's like out of a book. It's like, oh my god.
You give him that long stare, and you're like, "Are you bullshitting me right now, dude?"
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Yeah,
and
that's awesome.
And he just plays so much bigger than he is, man. I just
feisty.
He's so fun.
Fiery.
And he's another one that'll chirp, dude. I remember hearing him once say he was chirping with, I think, an 18 and 19-year-old across the bench there, and he the guy said to him, he said, well, you're not that good. You don't play that much. And Bush looks at him and goes, I'm not supposed to be good, man. But I thought that was
That's funny.
that was pretty funny. We'll have to.
Shut it down right there.
What was that?
He just shuts it down right there. He's not going to let it bother him, huh?
For sure.
Rolls off him.
Typical Bush.
So, what's your summer training look like, man? I know you said you're going to take a little time off, or you did, and then you're going to just kind of play it after the draft and everything. But I mean, how hard do you go at it during the summer? Because I mean, obviously, a lot of us know there's no off season anymore if hockey's life. So, what does that look like for you?
Like I said before, took a couple weeks off, kind of rest, recuperate, stuff like that. Now I'm back at it, working out 5 days a week in the mornings, and then right now, I guess not so much into skating. That kind of comes more into the summertime. You get into June, July, and August and stuff. But so just working out the 5 days a week in the morning, and then kind of as the summer progresses on, get on the ice a couple times a week, and start getting out with other junior guys and stuff, and get into practices and scrimmages and stuff like that. Just kind of get on the ice, get your legs back, and then, like I said, once it progresses, you get into end of July, beginning of August, and that's kind of where you hit it hard and get on the ice every day, and trying to get ready for camps and stuff like that.
Sure. This is a random one, but you being a Calgary fan and everything, we here in the Pacific Northwest haven't really had a hometown team other than like Vancouver or something to root for. Now that the NHL is coming to Seattle, what's your opinion on what that's going to do to the face of the game up here?
Man, I think it's going to be unbelievable. I think you guys can probably attest to this too. Even in the last 4 or 5 years, since I've been in Tri-Cities, like hockey has grown so much, man. Like it's really like taking off in our area, and it's really growing. So I think it's only going to magnify. I think it's going to be great for the Western League, especially the U.S. division, because tickets to those fucking games are going to be off the charts. So yeah. I think it'll be good because people love hockey, man. People love going to watch. So I think people will be more willing to pay the $20-25 to go watch a Western League game than the $200 or $250 to go watch Seattle, whatever the fuck they're going to be called.
the Starbucks Kraken or whatever they're going. God.
Yeah, the Kraken or whatever the hell they're all saying up there.
Yeah, I don't know what it'll be, but like I have a feeling it's going to be nothing anyone's guessed yet. Like
as far as names go.
Yeah. I feel like they're going to go like way off the charts with it and surprise everyone. And then like most people will complain, and then once the season starts, everyone's just kind of cool with it. Kind of like the Golden Knights. That's kind of what happened with the Golden Knights. They're like, Golden Knights? That's stupid. And now everybody's just eating it up.
Now everyone's eating that shit up, hey?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it'll probably happen with Seattle too, man. People hate change, and people, especially in the social media world this day, everybody wants to share their opinion and think that it's right. And a lot of times it's just like, shut the fuck up, dude. Nobody cares.
Oh, my God, dude.
Everyone's a GM. Everyone's a referee.
Trying to think. You guys got anything else? Or
not a whole lot. I'm still drawing a blank on a fucking chirp. Can't come up with anything, man. Like I was thinking about it, and I was like, well, I know he doesn't play hockey, so maybe I could just make fun of him for being a chump who doesn't play. But
oh, this is your buddy.
Yeah.
Let it go, Kyle. Let it go.
No.
Oh man. So just trying to think. We were just wrapping up the season last year at this time. It ended a little bit shorter this year for the Western League. So you think Boston's going to? Do you have a rooting interest? I mean, I know your Flames are out right now, but if there's somebody, if you could say this team, I want them to win, I'm going to root them on, who would it be?
San Jose for sure.
Nice.
I'd love to see Jumbo Joe win one, man. That guy's a fucking gangster.
Yeah,
I like that guy. So I'd like to see him win. Obviously, it would be really like. I'm not a big Boston fan, like I said, but it would be really cool to see Carlo win one, man. Like he's played unreal, and we used to be really good buddies, back when he was here, and
yeah.
So it'd be cool to see, I guess, one of my buddies win one for sure. So that'd be unreal.
That's something I hadn't really thought of. Do you keep in touch with a lot of players that you played with here in the Dub still, or they kind of just you all just go your separate ways and keep loose contact?
I think we definitely keep in touch. Especially with social media and stuff like that. You always know kind of what everyone's up to. kind of in my experience, a really great thing about hockey players is, you can go however long without, seeing each other, and then you run into each other, wherever it is, and it's like you've talked yesterday. So that's kind of the thing about playing hockey and getting to know so many guys. You're with that group of guys for every day for 6, 7, 8 months, and you obviously get to know everyone really well, and so that's definitely a big thing. Is you can go a little bit without seeing each other or talking and stuff, but it's like you never left. So that's a big thing for sure too.
That's awesome.
Did you have any good friend? I mean, like close friends that played on opposing teams that made it hard, like opposing teams in the dub, that it made it hard when you were on the ice against them?
Not really hard, I guess. I'm really good buddies with Matthew Wedman on Seattle.
Oh, cool.
We work out together in the summers, and same with Luke Smith, who kind of bounced around, but he ended his career in Spokane. So I mean, as a player, as like a competitor, I obviously don't want them to do well because we're playing against each other. But as they can go out and score and do well against any other team but us, I guess. Obviously
you want them to succeed overall.
Yeah. Oh, of course. And they would want the exact same for me too, I think.
Absolutely.
But it's a business, and we're all competitors, on the ice for that 60 minutes. But obviously, I love those guys and want them to have success as much as I'm sure they would want me to have success too.
Yeah.
For sure. How real was that rivalry, that Spokane Tri-City rivalry? Was that just a fan thing, or was it really like, okay, we're playing them, I would just want to kick somebody's ass tonight, I don't care what the final score is?
That's a good question.
I'm not sure if you guys saw that SWX documentary that I did with Cooper, but we talked about that, and I said I think it's a lot of a fan thing. I mean, in the past, I understand. Obviously, it was definitely worse. But just we're all kids, kind of playing hockey, and we all kind of have the same goals and the same kind of aspirations. So I think it really just comes down to that. And we obviously there's that rivalry and that hatred, but like I said before, we all have that mutual respect, and we all kind of love to hate it, I guess.
No, that makes complete sense. One of the things that sticks out in my head a couple years ago, you remember this. I'm bringing up old wounds, but that season that you guys got knocked out of the playoffs because of a tie between Portland and Spokane, I believe it was, like 2 games left in the season, and you guys won that game in overtime, and I remember Vince Sapienza and I were up in the media booth, and we knew, because we had seen the score in Portland, we knew that you guys were out, but there was so much excitement on the ice, and then you guys went to the locker room, you found out you were out of it at that point, and that was heartbreaking. But I thought one of the coolest things, I'm getting somewhere here, I promise I am, I thought one of the coolest things was, I believe it was the next night, you guys were playing Spokane, and I think this was the year that Parker Bowles was a 20-year-old.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, my first year. Yeah,
nice. And I mean, the final buzzer had just sounded, and immediately everybody's hugging at that point. And to me, like, the handshake lines are the coolest thing. I fucking love the handshake lines. They get me misty-eyed all the time, because just warriors out there battling it, and then. I think what fans don't want to realize a lot of times is, I mean, you grew up with so many of these people, and they're your friends, and like you put it perfectly, you all have a job, but at the end of the day, you guys are just all fucking hockey players, man. So yeah, I guess there wasn't really a question.
You nailed it there, man. I think. No, well, you're absolutely correct, though. I think, we all have that, that drive and that passion, like I said before, and. It's cool to kind of share that, just because we don't have, the same jersey on doesn't mean, we can't respect each other and, have the same aspirations and goals and dreams and stuff like that. So I think that's what, like you said, that's what gets kind of lost sometimes, is people don't really realize that, we are only kids, chasing our dreams, playing hockey. There's a lot more going on underneath than there is on the surface, for sure.
We talk about that a lot on here. We bitch and moan about fans a lot of times, especially the ones that want to yell at the ref for every fucking thing that happens on the ice.
I'm sure you've heard that guy and you know who we're talking about. God.
Before we let you go,
I'm
go ahead.
Yeah. No, I say I'm definitely. I've had my fair share of encounters with the referees for sure. But you got to give those guys. You got to give those guys credit, man. I definitely wouldn't want to do that fucking job.
No, not at all.
I mean, we're all human. We all make mistakes. So you got to give those guys credit where it's due, man.
Yeah.
As much as I've given them shit in my career, and you know, we all kind of do. We all get guilty of that sometimes.
Yeah.
I mean, we're all humans.
For sure.
We all
I've got
mistakes, and I definitely wouldn't want that.
We got linesman Steve Fleming. He does a lot of refereeing for our adult league games, and he's just like, I don't know what you think of the guy, but I as far as I've seen, he's utmost professional, and I think he's probably one of the better referees I've ever come across. So I don't know how he was for you guys, but I always enjoyed seeing him in the dub games, and I always kind of feel pretty good when he's reffing our games. So.
Before we let you go, we're gonna wrap it up here. But I wanted to say, if you could give a public service announcement to every fucking hockey fan out there, whether good or bad, tell them to shut the fuck up, tell them to do something. You know, when they yell at you to shoot all the time, because all of us fans have a great line of sight up in the stands. As Andrew Ferrant said, "Oh, I forgot to shoot." What's your advice to fans, man? A dub level, NHL level. How can fans be better? There's the question. How can fans be better?
I don't. That's a great question, man. I guess I can speak for the Western League. I mean, we have you guys can attest to this too. We have like crazy passionate fans in Tri-City, man. Like, we might not get all the big numbers that all those, you know, other teams get, but you know, it's always so loud in there, and you know, we're super thankful for, you know, all the passion and everything. But I guess you know, just remember that those are 16, 17, you know, they're kids, you know, we're all like kids out there playing hockey, and you know, it'd be funny to watch you go there. If you're yelling at me to do whatever, it'd be pretty funny to watch you get on skates and try and do what I'm doing out there. So
love it. That is so true.
I guess
man.
that's my thoughts on it.
Yeah,
awesome.
I love it.
Awesome. You guys have anything else?
I just had like a quick thing that is a little less hockey related. Parker, I've noticed a couple times, not so much recently, but months before. I've seen you on Twitch a few times. I've seen you kind of lurk in the chat rooms and stuff. Are you an average Twitch user gamer? Like, if you're playing games, what is it you play like in your off time from hockey?
I was a lot more into you know, video games and Xbox and all that stuff when I was younger. I think I've kind of outgrown it a little bit now. I love to watch. You know, I was a big NHL guy. You know, love to play like Hockey Ultimate Team and stuff, and watch and stuff. I mean, yeah, with the Twitch thing, I guess, I don't know, it's just kind of fun to hop on there every once in a while and watch, and you know, just kind of see. It's kind of a, you know, a pastime if I got an hour or whatever to chill, do that. But yeah, like I said, kind of outgrew the video games quite a bit. In the past like couple of years when I was younger, man, I was into that shit way too much. It was Bad News Bears. But
well, it's good you recognized it at an early age and shifted focus a little.
Yeah.
I'm so fucking glad you didn't say Fortnite, man. I've got kids at home. That's all I fucking hear about anymore is Fortnite. So.
Well, I mean, everyone likes that game, man, and it's fun to watch and play every once in a while. But I'm saying, you know, it's not my forte for sure.
I play it once every while, but I only play with friends.
Well, I'm going to tell you, honestly, I'd never even heard of Fortnite till Geeky started doing his Fortnite dances after goals last year, man. That was the first I had heard about it.
The greatest GIF ever fucking made, man.
Oh, man. Well, Parker, we really, really do appreciate it, man. We're definitely going to want to have you back on at some point. And we are following you from here. We're cheering you on, brother. It was a pleasure this year to watch you play in Tri-City.
Definitely going to miss you, man. Like, definitely going to miss you for sure.
Yeah, boys. I really appreciate the time and having fun, and hopefully we can. Yeah, let's do it again soon. And you know, thanks for everything, and hopefully we can keep in touch. And yeah, we'll be talking soon here.
For sure, man. I'll reach out to you off air. A couple things I wanted to talk to you about, but yeah, enjoy the rest of your day, man, and thank you so much again.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks again, boys, and we'll have to do it again soon.
All right, later
Absolutely.
days.
Yeah, see you soon.
Well, that was just dope,
It was fucking awesome.
That was awesome.
right?
You guys, if people listening, Coiner was one of the coolest. He really epitomized being a great player, knowing that the communities are so important to these WHL teams. And for all you fans that are listening, listen to what he had to say. Please listen to what he had to say. Try lacing him up. I don't care that you're paying for the ticket. Hockey, that's why I love hockey so much. It's the hardest sport in the world to play. Change my mind.
I mean, there's passionate fans out there who do a lot for the game without playing it. That's fine. Like,
Oh,
you don't
absolutely.
Have to,
This
you
isn't
don't-
every
Yeah,
fan,
yeah.
no.
You don't have to play it to be a good fan. But I'm just saying, like, a lot of people seem to think they know about what it's like, and I mean, I can't even say it. I can't even say what it's like. And I've been playing goalie for years and years and years, and I can't even think about like what kind of stuff Beck Warm goes through, like the kind of like pressure that kid gets.
Right.
Like it's insane, and yeah, I give a lot of those guys credit because I don't know what it's like, and I can't even assume what it's like. So, be a good fan. Definitely cheer, be loud. It's okay to be competitive and yell at the ref once in a while, but don't make it the entire game. Don't threaten them. Don't spit on them or anything. That's fucking stupid.
Yeah, quit. Oh my god.
I think we need to make a shirt that says passion does not equal asshole. Because, I mean, it's so true. You can be passionate about it all you want, man. But fucking police yourself and don't be a fucking asshole. So, and that's right there what you just heard. That's why, because you've got some of the classiest people playing this game, dude. And these kids are so much further along. And I use the word kids in quotation marks because these are men out there on the ice.
Well, yeah. And like even though I've been following hockey for most of my life, like I maybe 22-ish, 25 years around there somewhere. I don't even know when I started. But like even though like I've been following hockey and watching hockey that much and playing hockey, like listening to Parker talk just now, like I still learned a lot. Like there's still so much about the game that we don't see. Right. And we're not going to see unless we've actually been in, that situation. So yeah, it was really, really cool to have him on, and I think in the future we need more of that.
For sure. Thank you again, Parker.
So
all right,
good,
man.
dude.
That was
So
fun.
good.
That was refreshing. So I'm excited. What do you guys? What do you got going on? Well, there's certain things we can't talk about, but Buried Puck Threads is excited. As always, I'm just going to leave it there. Corey,
Barry Puck Threads is excited.
Buried Puck Threads is excited. That's what we are. That's what we are.
We are excited.
You've got a big month going on. This is for the local Tri-Cities people. There's some 70th anniversaries and some 12th anniversaries. And
Oh, yeah. There's a ton coming up for the store in the Uptown. Luke Ray's organized the Art Walk that's going to be starting.
Nice.
And that's actually next weekend.
Shit. Next Saturday?
Yeah.
So the
be
18th?
gone.
18th, is that right? Something like that?
11th.
Oh, like Mother's Day?
Yeah, or 10th, whatever.
Oh,
day.
Dave. Oh, so you're talking like
Saturday.
in a couple of days.
Yeah.
Okay. So when this is up, you'll still have time.
Yeah.
So
That's going to be really cool.
Wait, what day is it?
this Saturday.
This
10th.
Saturday. Okay, I might be able to stop by because I got I'm doing photography for the bullfighter event.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that'll
For
be
the
fun.
Bullfighter event?
Bullfighters only is what it's called.
That was the most genuine, inquisitive look I have ever seen on your face, man.
Me and the other guy that's actually hired by the Toyota Center, we're going to be kind of just achieving different angles. So
Nice.
it'll be really cool.
But like bullfighting.
bullfighting.
Like Spain, spangly pants,
I think
red
so.
capes.
I'm
Well,
not
no,
sure.
they're gonna kill
I don't
him.
know.
They obviously don't kill him, but
I don't know what to expect.
How do
not
you
here.
know?
Not here. Not at this event. Trust me, because my daughter asked me the same question when the commercial came on. They actually kill the bulls here?
I'm far less invested now.
Oh, you were like, I'm sitting here thinking,
you
did
wanted
they
to
really
see
kill him?
blood.
And Corey's like, oh, well,
I didn't
fuck
care
that shit.
whose.
Yeah, he just wanted to see blood.
Yeah.
No, I got that going on, and I know, I don't know. I feel like it feels weird to announce it, but I did. I might have won a championship last week for
Oh, yes.
Adult B League. So
Why not announce it, dude? That was fucking awesome.
I don't know. I don't. There's certain like horns of my own. I don't care to toot too much.
Then
But
don't
it
toot
was
your
really
horn.
cool.
The goaltending was terrible. Don't toot your own
Yeah,
horn.
that's true. Goaltending on the Rebel side was terrible. No, it was great. It was a great game. It's the second championship for a season that I've achieved here. But I mean, really, the big credit goes to the guys in front of me. Like it's easy to say that, like, you know, we had a good team and everything, but like these guys really, really looked out for me. They made sure shots weren't coming my way. I saw a lot fewer shots than I have in previous sessions.
Nate's nuts were coming at you hard and heavy, huh?
Yeah, they were. Nate's nuts were in my face. No, it wasn't even really like a chippy game. Not a whole lot of penalties. We had one guy that had three chips to the box. But you know, he's a competitor. He's a big guy, and when you skate into him, you're not going to knock him over. You know, he's huge. He's Jake Musser, big guy. A lot of people don't like him, but I got to say, like those brothers, they're great guys off the ice. So, at least in my experience. So, but they absolutely looked out for me. Jake and Josh, they both like were my defensive pairs, and they work great together because they're brothers. You know, and they definitely looked out for me. So, you know, big credit to those guys. But like the rest of the team, it was great. I think Kaya had a goal, and I think that was her first goal of the session. Was in the championship game. So good on her for hitting that. But like it was, you know, it's just fun it's just a fun group to play with. The Rebels, always a good time. They keep bugging me. They want to get on the show. They want to
make it happen.
Be on. So
I was just thinking about that. Let's make it happen.
Yeah, we got to get this guest train going, man.
Yeah, for sure.
We got a lot of guys that we can throw in. So
for sure.
Yeah, well, Parker ran brakeman for us, so that'll help.
Yeah. No, that was good. Like, so
I had fun, boys.
Yeah, it was
a lot of fun.
Good episode.
Well, we're gonna bring this one on home. Big thank you to Parker AuCoin for taking the time to talk to three chubby bearded fucks.
He reached out to me. I don't remember what we were responding to, but he was just like, "Hey man, when am I going to be on the show?" And I was like,
hey, what was my response to you?
First of all, hello?
Really? Question mark. He listens? Question mark.
Yeah,
I was like, first of all, hi, what's up? Yeah, let's get him on. And I immediately text you, and I was like, hey, Parker just reached out to me. He wants to be on the show. So
and good
really
on
cool.
him. That was like a couple days ago, and it just all came together. So
that really did come together quick.
It was fun.
Yeah,
I didn't expect it to be like the next episode. So that was cool. I didn't know what his timeline was like or what ours looked like. So.
I love it.
I'm so like I get anxious while I try to plan shit. Like I don't know if you know me as a person, but like planning anything is a fucking nightmare for me.
I'm like you, dude.
Like I'm going camping next week and I'm still stressing it. I'm just like all I gotta do is throw the tent's still in the Jeep. I always have the tent in the Jeep in case like I don't know. I have this like irrational fear of like breaking down in the middle of the fucking woods somewhere. I don't know what I'd be doing in the middle of the woods, but like. I was like,
Kyle just takes the wheel and goes off road.
Yeah, exactly. I just roll the Jeep, at random, and I'm just like, hey, I got a tent right here. Fuck yeah! There's an MRE. It'll last me like a week. Like I don't know. Like
that's awesome.
The tent's always in there. So like, I'm
Boy
packed.
Scout.
Yeah,
I'm packed. I'm ready to go, man. Like I don't know why I'm so fucking freaked out about it.
You get your entire Jeep's a bug out bag.
It really is.
Rock.
It really is. Like I press a button and a little raft appears around it, and I can traverse across the ocean or some shit.
I got a car that transforms into a boat. Nobody's got that shit.
MC Chris, I fucking knew it.
God damn, I love you.
Fucking nerds.
Yeah, like I don't know. Like I was just stressing.
I know MC Chris, but I
Yeah,
didn't know that.
no,
so I'm not cool enough.
That was
guys.
I can't remember the name of the song.
006.
Yep,
That's
that's
my
right.
favorite MC
That's
Chris
a really
song.
good one. I saw him in Charlotte.
Really?
Yeah,
I saw him in Seattle
Incredible show.
at the El Corazon, which is getting torn the fuck down.
Yeah, fuck you, owners of El Corazon.
Yeah,
I didn't-
eat a dick.
Now that's the first time I've heard this news right now.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But
I thought
no,
you
it's
were the
fine.
one that told me that.
No. But here's my thing. I was in El Corazon November when you were
When I was dying. Yeah, I
when
remember.
You were
on your way to
or
the fun
December. It was
place.
December, and
Oh yeah.
I like the show, the venue. It has got a lot of heart.
Yeah.
Dare I say heart? You
Yeah.
know, it's got a lot of character to it.
Personality?
It is a divey shithole. I'm not.
Yeah,
you're
it's
not
a shithole
wrong.
for sure.
Honestly, like, I mean, I guess I don't have the same memories of that place as you do because that was my first time being there. But at the same
Yeah.
time, I was kind of like, this place is. I'm scared it's going to fall apart.
You ever been to the
Yeah.
Hurricane?
Yeah.
Is that place still there?
Not that I know of.
I was gonna say if
heard
the
of that.
Hurricane is still standing, but El Corazon's not, I'm gonna fucking riot.
Yeah, no, I think it's.
So
gone
what are
too.
they doing? Are they going to like just rebuild it?
Condos.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So where's Corazon going? Is it just
it's gone.
gone.
That's
It's
horseshit.
done.
That's horseshit.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I just read the article the other day. So fuck you. Fuck you.
It'd be cool if they like resurrect it somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll see. I don't know what the owners will do.
cortisol.
You know how a lot of those people, man.
Yes.
It's just
Modine's 3.
love it. But it's just business. And, so many people invest their time and passion. Us as fans, we go and watch shows there and everything. And to the owners, they could fucking care
but
less.
that location,
Yeah.
that's bringing them some money for them. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
it's big money.
Oh,
I'm not
for
calling
sure.
them a sellout by any means. I mean, technically, yeah, they are. But
I'm not going to call a spade
Call-
a spade.
I was gonna say,
That's
just
a
call
spade
it-
if I ever saw one.
but good Lord, is that going to be
Oh, yeah.
cash money for them?
Oh, it's prime. It's
yeah,
prime,
that
so.
location is.
Okay, I'm going to cut us off before we start talking about traffic and wrap this motherfucker up.
Sorry.
This
Sorry.
has been Cascadia Hockey. I am your host with the least, Corey Gaston. Our special guest today, one Mr. Parker AuCoin. Wishing you the best, and thank you so much for taking the time to hang out with us. Kyle, Aaron, thank you, gentlemen, for being amazing and interviewing the hell out of him.
Thank you
I
for allowing us.
I did nothing.
Oh, you did. You were here in spirit.
I've got no witty way to end this. Well, okay, I got 2 quick things before I sign off. Big shout out to the billets.
Yes.
And
Yes.
Andre, you ugly.
Yo, mama.
But Andre has a posse.
I was chirping him. That's all I got.
Oh, that's your buddy. Oh, I was going. Oh, I fucked it up. My bad.
It's okay.
He's gonna.
We'll edit in
Now
post.
he's gonna trip me back with it. He's gonna be like, "Yeah, that fucking failed."
We'll edit in post. All right, and on that
Dude,
note.
goddamn. 1, 2, 3. Ferda!
Allegedly.